Oh, hello, yes. Well, weekend and nearly Christmas. Yeah, get some time off, which means I can be even slacker than I am now. Hooray! Yeah, public sector worker, you know what we're like. Probably going to take a peek at my pension. No, that's empty. Yes, anyway. History very often goes in broad brushstrokes, doesn't it? When you look back, you can see the big movements in operation. It tends to lead people to make sort of comments about, being on the right side of history. But, historically, generically, one of the things that you can see and has been a decided movement has been the movement towards, sort of the idea of peace, freedom, and democracy, broadly speaking. And it's one of those broad things that we can all broadly agree on. Yeah, not the minutiae, maybe. But so many people, when they look back, say 20 or 30 years, seem to have a very, very odd view of exactly where their morality lay at various times. I mean, it's not, for example, the lefties that tend to, at the moment, be arguing against taking rights away from women, and yet there is that kind of thing in the States, whereby the MAGA movement has decided that because certain women are not going to vote the way their husbands want, they should just not have the vote, and they certainly shouldn't have reproductive rights. You can see the same sort of thing in this country. I mean, they can't make up their minds properly, can they? What with periods? The world hasn't moved on very much for so many people, and yet they will argue at the same time that it's all well, you've got to think of the women. I mean, it's dangerous having these people here. All that stuff, yes. Anyway, yesterday I was looking at, well, the inevitable leader comment in the Daily Telegraph. Daily Telegraph View news about Eurovision with various people saying that because Israel's still going to be in, they're going to be out. So we have the Telegraph View, a despicable boycott. Could use the word, well, despicable there, I think. Yes, Eurovision will be better off without Spain, the Netherlands, and Ireland. And I can wholeheartedly agree because once again, for the number of years, I won't be watching again. Yes, I'll be boycotting it. But what exactly is the Telegraph's beef? Well, apparently it's the fact that, Israel's really brilliant and all of these horrible people boycotting it are all horrible. Like they say here, the boycott is motivated by criticism of Israelis' war against Hamas in Gaza. Which has been deemed a genocide, in inverted commas, by leftists and pro-Palestinians worldwide. Yes, indeed, leftists and pro-Palestinians worldwide, or what we might sort of think about as almost everybody and various international courts. Which is a slightly different way and perhaps a slightly more accurate way of putting it, being the nasty leftist that I am, those tides of history. And then that got me thinking about, well, the Daily Telegraph and various things that it's certainly been on the wrong side of history about in the past. You might think about apartheid South Africa. Yes, I know it's given us Elon Musk, hooray! But apartheid South Africa and the Daily Telegraph, along with most of the British press, and indeed Margaret Thatcher, was very keen on apartheid South Africa. Can remember it well. I was often outside the South African embassy. Yeah, had to queue up for a passport, or maybe not. I was there for other reasons. Anyway, yes, Telegraph didn't really like the idea of boycotts against South Africa. After all, they were anti-communists, and there is this sort of odd movement at the moment I've noticed on the internet to suggest that Margaret Thatcher was an anti-apartheid campaigner. No, she wasn't. She was very, very deeply committed to the idea of them being a good anti-communist state, and as such needed all of the help that they could get. That's reality, but it gets whitewashed over the years into something else entirely. Tides of history. Yeah, being on the right side. And you have to be on the right side, don't you? Even if you're on the wrong side. And here we have the Daily Telegraph, very much being on the wrong side of history, supporting a genocidal regime. Again. It's not a good look, Daily Telegraph, and I might suggest you might want to, I don't know, in about 20 or 30 years' time, have various interviews with people that decided that at the time they had various concerns, but they decided to go about it a completely different way by not doing anything about it whatsoever. Tides of history. Anyway, do have a glorious day if you can do, and remember, basically, if something looks wrong, it probably is. And if you're going to defend things that are wrong, you're probably going to have issues down the line with it. Or if you're just somebody rich and powerful, it doesn't really matter because you can just pretend that the past never really happened at all. Yes, we gave women the vote because we were nice. That's definitely what happened, and it certainly didn't involve a huge grassroots based and very, very largely middle class led, but also largely working class and containing a lot of socialist left wingers, nasty, nasty, nasty people doing those kind of things. Yes. It's the same with that anti-slavery movement. Yeah, the way that certain people want to present it is that suddenly everyone in Britain woke up, the rich people, and decided that slavery was very bad, and they told everyone about it, and everyone agreed with them, and we got rid of slavery. And that's exactly the way that it happened. And if you try and read too much into that, you just are being unpatriotic and bad. And anyway, we're not racist. That's the way it works. Do have a lovely Saturday if you can do. Do stay dry. Oh, probably warm as well. Yeah, I'm going to join my cat just ensconced on the bed, I think. I don't want to do anything else this kind of weather. This kind of time in my life, to be quite honest, as well. Anyway, enjoy.